Good evening, Freedom Church family. Welcome everyone for joining us for the service tonight. My name is Shalli Gupta Barnes. I'm here with the Cairo Center. And today is a special service for me and my community, my family, as we celebrate Diwali together here at Freedom Church. This is one of the most important moments of the year for Hindu families, and coming out of many traditions. It's our new year where we celebrate the abundance in our lives. We light candles, we turn on all the lights in our homes as we celebrate light over dark, good over evil, hope over fear, and community over chaos. Although the Diwali officially occurred a few weeks ago, I'm grateful to be able to honor it today with you all, especially after the historic wins we witnessed last week in New York City, in New Jersey, in Virginia, and elsewhere. This celebration is a timely reminder of what we can still do together amidst all the crises around us. And as we know, the crises are many. But I think there are many that would prefer that we keep quiet, that we keep divided, that we keep kind of to ourselves, and just if we believe that this will pass, we'll be okay. But that's never been true, especially for those of us on the front lines of the crisis around hunger or raids in our communities. Any attempt to violate our peace and dignity and use fear against us. And I think what we know is we must do as we have always done, is to stand up and to let our lights of truth, of hope, of dignity shine bright, brighter than anyone who seeks to dim them with lies and fear and violence, knowing that the brighter we shine, the stronger we become. So this is the interfaith community we are building here in Freedom Church, a community of thousands and millions of lights bringing, shining bright in the darkness. And as we gather our numbers and our strength and resolve for the times ahead, we are recognizing that our strength comes from our manyness, our diversity. And in the spirit, because Hinduism actually encompasses many sacred traditions and beliefs and practices, we will actually be hearing from three different religious texts today during the Diwali service. So just kind of preparing our community for what comes ahead. But first, let's read the mission of the Freedom Church of the Poor.
Thank you, Shalli. The Freedom Church of the Poor is a spiritual and political home for movement leaders. We believe in the fundamental dignity and value of all life and in a world of abundance where all can thrive. We gather as a community of faith to support and care for each other, and we commit to realizing the abundant world God promises by identifying, developing, and uniting leaders who will build a movement to end poverty led by the poor. In this community, and through our commitment to this struggle, we also seek to rediscover and share a vision and practice of religion that is rooted in truth, justice, and love.
Thank you. So as we get into the service, I'd like to invite Anu Yadav, a brilliant artist, organizer, educator in this movement, and a dear friend who's been doing this work for too many years, who will share a song that she wrote called It's Diwali Time.
Thank you, Shalli. So this song is just a playful song that I wrote in honor of my memories of Diwali growing up in Iowa, where we had a very tight-knit Hindu community and a larger multi-faith South Asian community, and we really had each other's backs. And it's also kind of in honor of my mother as well. You might see a few slides here. And it goes something like this. You were the tallest auntie with the dandiya laughing, twirling in your sari, graceful at Diwali. In the church basement, in community, Hindus getting down, celebrating. Gulab jamun and massive production, hey, hey. Everyone on board, but the women make it happen. Flashlights in the dark, kids ready to go. Aunties directing the next Bollywood show. It's Diwali, it's Diwali, it's Diwali time. It's Diwali, it's Diwali, it's Diwali time. It's Diwali, it's Diwali, it's Diwali time. Oh, it's Diwali time. Confuse all the Christians with Christmas lights. Get out the diyas, eat lots of mirtai. Fancy schmancy clothes, we gather together, sharing the joy and loving each other. It's Diwali, it's Diwali, it's Diwali time. It's Diwali, it's Diwali, it's Diwali time. It's Diwali, it's Diwali, it's Diwali time. Oh, it's Diwali time. Oh, it's Diwali time. And so you will hear references to a couple things. Dandiya, which are wooden sticks used as in a popular Gujarati dance, folk dance that we used to do. Gulab jamun, which is a South Asian dessert. Diyas, or oil lamps that Shali referred to, lights that we light during Diwali. Mithai, also dessert, sugar is very, very important in celebrating Diwali. So with that, I'll pass it back to Shali.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anu. I love that. Captured the spirit of this day, of the celebration. So we have a few textual reflections following, beginning with Reverend Abi Janamanchi, the senior minister from Cedar Lane Unitarian Universalist Church in Bethesda, Maryland, who will draw on two texts from our tradition, the Bhagavad Gita and then the Upanishads. Could we share the texts online? Okay, great. I think we have a couple of, yes. Okay, so the first text is from the Gita, chapter 4, scriptures 7 to 8, verses 7 to 8. Whenever righteousness declines and injustice rises, I manifest myself in the world to protect the good, to transform the oppressor, and to restore the balance of life. I am born age after age. And from the Upanishads, lead me from the unreal to the real, lead me from unknowing to understanding, lead me from transience to wholeness. O compassionate one, reveal your gentle face. We bow to you, hold us in your care. Reverend Abi.
Thank you, Shelley, and good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to be together. Though Diwali has passed on the calendar, its meaning still burns within us. Because Diwali for us isn't simply a festival, it is also a declaration. It's the people's way of saying we have seen tyranny before and we will not bow to it again. See, across India, Diwali takes many forms. In northern India, it is Rama and Sita's victorious return to Ayodhya, justice and love restored after exile. And in Bengal, it is Kali Puja, fierce compassion rising to confront oppression through the mother goddess. And in Western India, it is Lakshmi's day, a call to honor the labor and abundance that sustain life. And in southern India, where I grew up, it is the story of Krishna and Satyabhama facing Naraka, the tyrant king. Now, Narakasura, his very name means hell. He was born of divine parents and began with a lot of promise, but pride burned in him like fire. And power, once meant to serve, became the god he served. And so Naraka conquered, Naraka enslaved, and he silenced the truth and locked away the light. Even Bhudevi, the earth herself, cried out in pain, and Krishna heard her cries. But Krishna did not go alone. He went with Satyabhama, his beloved, his equal, whose courage met his compassion. And together they entered the fortress of fear, Naraka's fortress, and began the battle. And when Krishna fell, Satyabhama arose. With her steady hand, she struck the tyrant's chains, and the captives walked free. Now that's the story. And that's one of the stories that is remembered on the eve of Diwali. But this story is not about gods and demons. It is actually about us. It is about what happens when the people, those told their hands are too rough, their voices too small, reach again for the power that has always been theirs. It is what happens when we stop waiting for saviors and begin to act as the bearers of liberation ourselves. In the Bhagavad Gita that we heard earlier, Krishna says to Arjuna, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyudhanam adharmasya tadatmanam shrujamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samstapanardhaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Whenever righteousness declines and injustice rises, I manifest myself in the world to protect the good and to transform the oppressor, to restore the balance of life. I am born age after age. Now, that manifestation is not thunder in the sky. It is the breath of justice through human hearts. It is love taking form through you and me again and again whenever cruelty must be faced. And the Upanishads teach that the divine light shines within every being. That is the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind, the speech of speech, the breath of the breath. It is the light that leads us from untruth to truth, from mortality to immortality, and to that which is transient, to that which is permanent. That light is what Diwali celebrates, not as some victory, a mythic victory long ago, but the living presence of truth and love within each of us, calling us to act. Now, in every home during Diwali, Shaili mentioned that lamps are placed all over the house. But there is a small lamp that is also placed at the threshold, the space where the inside meets the outside, where the private meets the public, where faith meets the world. My mother used to say every time she lit the light at the threshold that this one is for the world. It reminds us that the awakening to the divine within us means nothing if it does not shine beyond us. It is not enough to tend the flame inside if we do not carry that flame into the streets, into the systems, into the struggles that still keep people bound. Because the shadows we face are real. Hunger, hatred, greed, war, genocide, occupation, the machinery of profit and neglect that crushes the poor and exhausts the earth. And yet, the light still burns. The divine breath still stirs among us, and whenever we remember who we are, we rise. And we saw this rising in our time in movements for housing and fair wages, in workers organizing and neighbors marching, in people who refuse despair and claim the power long denied them. As Zoran Mandani said in his victory speech, for as long as we can remember, working people have been told that power does not belong in their hands, fingers bruised from lifting boxes, palms calloused from delivery bikes, knuckles scarred from kitchen burns. These are not the hands allowed to hold power. And yet tonight, he said, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands. That moment, when people claim what is already theirs, is what Diwali is about. It is what Jubilee is about. It is what this Freedom Church of the Poor embodies. Faith, not as belief, but as breath shared, work done, love practiced in the streets. And that love is not soft or abstract. It takes form in our hands and in our hearts. It labors, it lifts, it organizes, it shows up in hunger strikes and food drives, in picket lines and prayer circles, in every act that says, we will not abandon one another. Because the divine does not dwell in palaces or towers or white houses. It dwells in the kitchens, in shelters, in classrooms, in the hands that serve and the hearts that refuse to quit. It dwells in persistence, in those who keep showing up, who keep choosing justice, who keep breathing hope into this beautiful and broken world. So, this year, as the lamps of Diwali fade from the windowsills, may the light at the threshold remain. May it guide our steps from illusion to truth, from greed to generosity, from isolation to community, from despair to action. Because no kings, no tyrants, only people, equal, free, and unafraid. This is the work of Diwali. The struggle is ours. The hope is ours. The light is ours. Let it shine through all we do. May it be so.
Oh, Reverend Abhi, thank you. Thank you for this powerful, it's more than a reflection. It's a reminder to claim what is already ours, to, as you said, claim the divinity that dwells in the shelters and the kitchens and those who keep showing up, breathing hope in this beautiful, broken world. Thank you so much. Grounding us in the reality of the actions we take, the agency we claim, as we step out and shine this light. I want to invite back Anu to continue with to offer another reflection, textual reflection relating to the divine feminine, the goddesses, the matriarchal traditions that date back even further in our lineage, the life force that they represent, their strength and power that was often more powerful than their masculine counterparts. They were the ones who defeated the forces of evil and injustice when the gods alone could not. Anu, please join us and tell us more about this celebration that brings us together today.
And thank you, Shali, and thank you, Reverend Abhi. It was really inspiring, and I was nodding along with all of the things you were saying, and noticing connections to some of the things I'll be sharing too. So that was really exciting. And, as you talked about, it is that love that is in being together and really fighting for the world that we deserve. That is the spirit of Diwali. And that we get to celebrate the abundance of that true wealth in the form of our love and connection for a world where everyone has enough. And so, it's interesting to notice throughout, on my mother's side and my father's side, they each celebrate based on what village they're from, what area of the country they're from, what geography, whether they're near a river or a mountain, what gods that they honor. And and so some of them, my mother's side, Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth and prosperity during this time. And my grandfather gave me a necklace of Durga. And some texts, as you mentioned, there's connections between some of these stories and gods. And Lakshmi, some texts refer to Lakshmi as a form or connected in some way to Durga, the warrior goddess who fights on the side of the oppressed, who represents liberation, who manifests Kali. And before Diwali, there was Navratri, 9 nights of honoring Durga. And so I want to share from a text called the Devi Mahatmyam, which translates to Victory of the Goddess. So here's Sanjay Patel is a wonderful animator, and he has these images of both Lakshmi and Durga, who rides atop a lion. And she carries many weapons, Durga. And so in this text, it's a very powerful text. I've been learning the 700 verses, but there's one in particular quote that stands out that I'd like to share. And it is Durge smrita harisi bhiti mashesha janto swaste smrita mati mati vam shubham dadasi. Daridya dukkha bhaya harini katvadanya sarvopakara karanaya sadardra chitta. O reliever of difficulties, remembering you, the fear of all living beings is dispelled. I'm speaking of Durga. When remembered by those individuals in the harmony of spiritual growth, you increase their welfare and intelligence. Who is like you, O dispeller of poverty, pain, and fear, whose sympathetic demeanor always extends compassionate assistance to everyone? So Durga, in the Sanskrit, it essentially calls her the abolisher of poverty, right? She arrives into the world to restore order and balance, similar to what Reverend Abhi was speaking of, the order and balance that is needed in the world. And in one of the stories, she defeats two demons, Chanda and Munda, who Chanda represents too much, and Munda represents too little. And, you know, in our world today, we may have the first ever trillionaire soon, billionaires reaching record-breaking profits while they are taking away food from poor children and families, taking away Medicaid, gutting social services, and using money to essentially to fund genocide. And so in this time, we have to call upon the power of Durga, this collective power of all the gods combined. And so I want to share another quote from chapter 2, when the gods call upon her energy. And in this moment, it says, Anyesham chaiva devanam sakradinam sarirataha nirgatam sumathat tejas tachakyam samatgachata. The rule of the pure and all the other gods too emitted great light from their bodies, and all the lights united to form one light of radiant splendor. Ativa tejasaha kutam jvalantamiva parvatam dadrushushte surashtratra jvala vyapta digantaram. The gods saw that great collection of light like a blazing mountain that pervaded all the directions with its flames. And then the last part of this is Atulam tatra teja sarvadeva sarirajam ekastham tadabhunari vyapta loka trayam tvisha. There was nothing to compare with this light that emanated from the bodies of all the gods. And after collecting into one, it assumed a feminine form whose illumination was apparent throughout the three worlds. So she becomes the power of all the gods combined, their light together, and they anoint her, they adorn her, they gift her with all of their weapons as she prepares for battle. And, you know, like jewelry, I mean, she's got it all. She's like going to look good going into battle. And she's got multiple arms, each holding a different power, right? And she represents the totality of coming together so that too much and too little are finally defeated, to restore that order and balance that is wealth and prosperity for everyone. It says later in the text that she is the cause of liberation in the world, that she destroys all infirmities, that those who take refuge in you invariably become a refuge to others. It says, Durga, you protect the universe, the soul of the universe, you support the universe. Those who bow to you with devotion become the refuge of the universe. Our movement is this refuge. Each arm of the goddess is a different front of struggle as we unite to form one body, one divine body of justice. The demon is empire. The demon is structural oppressions we must defeat for all to truly rejoice. And so as we grow our movement, we grow closer and closer to the true meaning of Durga. Invincible, a fortress, unstoppable. We become unstoppable together in defeating poverty, pain, and fear, in ending genocide and war. And that is how Durga manifests, in us being truly together. And in the top of this image is during one of the Durga pujas at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, you'll see this image of a migrant worker with her children at the end. This was in honor of the many poor and working families who had lost work during the pandemic, who were walking back home to their villages and without any support. and it is in gathering the resource and the brilliance and the power of all of us combined that we get to manifest that. Where all people, all life, all the planet herself gets to flourish with freedom, happiness, and that divine light of the highest form of love, of a bhakti, of a revolutionary love on earth.
Thank you, Anu, again. Just reflection is too small. We've had declarations of love and hope, a revolutionary love on earth that is invisible, that is invincible, that is unstoppable until the world is set right again. Yes, just incredibly powerful and brave and courageous. The kind of love that will not stop. And so I am reminded as we're going through this also that, one of the concepts that's associated with Hinduism is the concept of reincarnation. And so often that's interpreted as our individual souls being reborn from age to age. But I think what we've been hearing from Reverend Abi and from Anu is, in fact, the struggle for justice is reborn from age to age. And we carry forward the lessons of our ancestors, the lessons of these struggles, the losses and victories until the world is set right again. And so thank you for this. Thank you for this reminder. I am going to offer a prayer from the goddess Lakshmi. We've heard from Krishna, we've heard from Durga, we're going to hear from Lakshmi, from all the different regions of India together today for us all. Lakshmi is traditionally honored as the goddess of wealth, and in the Freedom Church, we honor her as the goddess of abundance, the abundance of love, of well-being, of wealth that is, as Anu, you said, that where too much and too little are finally defeated, and everyone has a hand in that abundance, that we are made whole through it, every single one. And so as we turn to the final moments of our Diwali service, let us pray to the goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance. Om Jai Lakshmi, goddess born from the struggles between good and evil, guide us. Hunger, let us end thirst, let us end homelessness. In your nurturing hands, let us seek refuge from violence and want and fear. With your grace, let our world be reborn in your image, where all needs are met, where love is abundant, and where we are all free. Om Jai Lakshmi, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Adam, do we have some calls to action?
Yes. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, Anu. Thank you, Reverend Abi. Beautiful, powerful, encouraging, hopeful. Thank you all for just bringing this to our community tonight, and for all the work you all do to reclaim the power of these traditions for our movement. So just beautiful, just amazing. Yes. Oh, and just a reminder, if there are other prayers or petitions or joys that the community wants to share, please do add those to the chat, and we'll make sure to lift them up tonight and throughout the week. Just a few calls to action. Let's see. Okay. One that's at the top of the list for probably for a few weeks to come too, just is pretty exciting new program that Kairos is helping to put together, called the Young Organizers Survival Corps. This is an effort to bring together young folks and young organizers from across the country into first into a sort of organizing school in January. And we're taking applications for that now. We, as the Freedom Church of the Poor, are hoping to get at least 10 or 15 from our community to join, hopefully more. but there are leaders coming from all types of organizations, congregations, justice organizations, service providers, folks that are in school, folks that are not in school. But what they all have in common is that they're young and they want to get organized for the long haul. So if you know anyone like that, or if you're like that, and you're interested in being part of this program, and especially this initial school, please do check out the application and submit that as soon as possible. The deadline for that is the end of November. And again, we're going to be meeting in January for an initial school. And then there's, after that, beyond that, much more that folks will be brought into going all the way through the summer. So very exciting to share that. And I think Becca will drop the link, but if not, I can do that once I read through the rest of these. Let's see. And then just as always, if you haven't already signed up for Freedom Church, we would invite you to do that as well. Just there's a link we'll drop, and you can share your information, and we'll make sure you get all of the details for all the things we're talking about here at the calls to action, the prayers, the links for the services and the Bible studies. And that the Bible study will be this Wednesday, as usual, 6 p.m. Please join there if you can. And I think that might be it. Just to, I guess, to note that this is the second to last service of our season of Jubilee, this epically long season that goes all the way back to the end of kind of Lent and Easter. So it's been a while. It's been an amazing journey together. We've done so much together in these months, but we're about to enter into, next week will be our last week, but then after that, we're going to enter into the season of Advent of a Revolution and the birth of a movement, part of a season that the National Union of the Homeless terms the Winter Offensive. So it's a powerful time of year where we remember this in the Christian tradition, remember the story of the new being born in a time of monsters, in a time of empire. And in a similar way to Diwali, it's the light being brought into the world to change, to push back against the destructive ways that take life and degrade life. And so it's always a very powerful time of year, a time of engaging in reflection, in the battle for the Bible, in care for our people and community, but also for taking action. And just a heads up, a big centerpiece of that action will be the 21st of December, the longest night of the year. That's a Sunday, and we're inviting folks to participate in or lead vigils on that night. And we will be lifting up and connecting those struggles throughout as our role here at Kairos and Freedom Church. But there are resources, if you're interested in doing that we can share as part of the Winter Offensive, as part of the Advent of a Revolution season. There's lots of resources that you can take a look at and use, and to organize, to bring people together in this very important moment in the calendar. Lots to say there. There's a lot of excitement building and a lot of anticipation for that season. So we hope that you all will join and spread the word and bring people together and use it as a time to be together, of course, but also to organize our people and these times when we need to get organized. So I think that's all that I had for announcements. If there was other, I'm seeing Zoe drop something. Thank you, Zoe. But if others had anything to share, please do add it to the chat. And if there's nothing else, then I think I'll pass it back to you, Shally, and we can wrap it up.
Thank you. And I'm simply going to invite Anu back on for our closing song.
Great. So, as we shared, may we reach for a world where it is always Diwali time, where we celebrate the divine light of God by treating all of life as sacred, all human beings with the right to live with dignity, and where we manifest the highest form of love, a revolutionary love of bhakti. And I am going to share a song from a musical I'm writing that's inspired by our movement called We the Poor. And I want to first kind of invite each of us to take a moment to dream for a moment. Imagine that someone from the future has come back to be here now and to say to you, to say to us these words. Thank you. We finally won. Everything you have worked for, we now have. And everything you have fought against, we have stopped. And today is actually our global holiday that commemorates the day humanity won. And what if they were to say to you, I want to teach you one of the songs that we sing to celebrate the day we won, so you can celebrate the victory in the future that is ours as yours. And you can hold on to that vision and know that that is coming. And so this is a song from the musical. And you can sing along with me while we're on mute. And I will feel you rising up with me, all of us together. And it goes like this. Rise up, revolutionary love. Rise up, revolutionary love. We live with dignity, got enough to eat, abolish poverty, oh, everyone is free. Rise up, revolutionary love. Rise up, revolutionary love. Rise up, revolutionary love. Rise up, revolutionary love. So we'll all sing together. Rise up, revolutionary love. Rise up, revolutionary love. We live with dignity, got enough to eat, abolish poverty, oh, everyone is free. Rise up, revolutionary love. Rise up, revolutionary love. One more time. Rise up, revolutionary love. Rise up, revolutionary love.
Brilliant. Yes, rise up, revolutionary love. Thank you, Anu, for closing the service with this call for revolutionary love. As we heard from Abi, we must not only tend the flame inside, but carry that flame to the streets and to the world until it is as we deserve it to be. I'll just close us out and send us forth with a call for peace within, peace among us all, and peace in the world. May it be so. Thank you.